Welcome. If you've ever longed for love freely, but found your chest tightening with old fears each time someone got too close, this story is for the part of you that wants to be brave again. So go ahead and subscribe now, and let's begin the journey inward together. Open Without Armor, a hypnotic story about dating with an open heart. Her name was Celeste, and for most of her adult life, she had been careful. Not cold, not unfeeling, but measured, cautious, quietly armored. She had gone on dates. She had fallen in love once, or something like it. But she had learned to smile through the fear, how to analyze every text message, and how to tighten just slightly when someone said, "I miss you." Not because she wanted to close, but because somewhere deep in her nervous system, the word love felt too much like a cliff's edge. Too much like risk. Too much like what she almost had as a child, but never quite. And so, Celeste dated like someone trying to fly a kite in a windstorm, desperately hoping for lift, but holding the string too tightly to ever let it rise. That is, until she met Elijah. It wasn't love at first sight. It wasn't magic or electricity. It was something quieter, safer. His voice didn't rush her nervous system. His presence didn't crowd her. He asked her how she was and actually waited for the answer. And for the first time in years, Celeste felt something unfamiliar stir behind her ribs. Not butterflies, not infatuation, but a kind of readiness, a whisper, a maybe. One night after their third date, they sat. He turned to her, trying not to disturb what moment was beginning to bloom. "I really like being around you," Elijah said, his tone unpressed. And Celeste felt it, that part of her that always stiffened, that tiny terminal recoil that said, "Careful, don't get too attached. You don't know if it's safe yet." But then another voice joined her, one she had been learning to listen to in therapy, a warmer one, a wiser one that said, "You don't need to decide everything right now. You're allowed to feel this slowly. It's okay to want this." So instead of backing away, Celeste took a deep breath and said something she'd never said so early before. "I'm trying to stay open to this. That's really important to me, even if it's scary." Elijah didn't flinch. He didn't say too much. He just nodded, like someone who understood fear wasn't the opposite of love. It was often walking right beside it. Over the next few weeks, Celeste practiced what it meant to stay open. That didn't mean oversharing. That didn't mean ignoring her gut. It meant breathing into the space between them instead of shrinking from it. It meant not crafting the perfect text message to seem aloof or mysterious. It meant answering when he asked her how her day was, really answering. It meant noticing when she started future tripping or catastrophizing, and gently coming back to now, to his hands in hers, to the quiet joy of watching a movie side by side. And most of all, it meant noticing when she wanted to run, because that part still showed up, the part that said, "He's going to leave. You're going to get hurt. You always ruin things." But instead of obeying this voice, Celeste began to speak to it like a scared child. "I know you're trying to protect me," she would think, "but I'm not 12 anymore. I can tell the difference between danger and discomfort. and I choose to stay with this feeling. Each time she said it, something inside her softened. A little less armor, a little more breath. One afternoon, Elijah surprised her with coffee and a paperback poetry book wrapped in brown string. "I saw this and thought of you," he said simply. She smiled, but that old voice began to rise again. "You're going to disappoint him. He likes the idea of you, not the real you. Don't let him get too close." This time Celeste didn't swallow those thoughts. She said them out loud. "I'm scared sometimes," she told him. "Not of you, but of being seen, of getting attached." And Elijah, still impressed, still Elijah, reached across the table and placed his hands over hers. "You can be scared," he said. "I don't need you to be fearless. I just want you to be real." And in that moment, Celeste felt something subtle. The ache of waiting to be loved was replaced by the act of letting love happen, right now, in real time, without conditions, without rehearsals. Not perfect, but present. Dating with an open heart wasn't a one-time choice, she realized. It was a daily practice. It meant catching herself when she wanted to pull away and asking if this was self-protection or self-sabotage. It meant not assuming the worst, not replaying old endings, and not auditioning for a part she already had. And over time, it became a little easier to say, "I like you," without overthinking it, without shrinking, without needing the words back right away. Just letting the truth hang in the air, soft and whole and hers. Hypnotic Induction. So go ahead and get comfortable now. Whether you're lying down or sitting upright, whether your eyes are already closed or still gently drifting, you can begin to turn inward toward the quiet part of yourself that's always been listening, always waiting, always hoping for the kind of love that doesn't require you to shrink, mask, or overperform. And as you begin to breathe in, gently, softly, you can begin to notice that the air moves differently when you give yourself permission to relax. That's right, just like that. Let your breath come in and go out. No need to control it. No need to manage it. Just like love. You don't need to force it. You only need to allow it. Because there's a rhythm underneath every relationship, and underneath your breath too. A rhythm of arrival and letting go. And you've been learning, haven't you, how to hold both. With each gentle inhale, feel yourself arriving, not in a place, but in a part of yourself. With each exhale, feel what softens. Shoulders, jaw, chest, even the muscles around your heart that may have been a little tense, a little guarded, without you even noticing. And that's okay. You had your reasons. You've learned to be careful. You've had to be strong. But now, in this moment, you can begin to be soft again. Not all at once, not completely, but just enough to notice that safety isn't just found in walls. Sometimes it's found in warmth, in stillness, in being witnessed without performance. And as you go deeper now, you may imagine a part of yourself, the part that wants to be brave enough to date again, to hope again, to say, "This time, I want to love without hiding." This part of you doesn't need to be perfect. It doesn't even need to be ready. It only needs to be willing to stay in the moment, willing to speak with a shaking voice, willing to open slowly, like a sunrise that takes its time. Because you are not late to love, and nothing about you is too much. Not your thoughts, not your fears, not your longings. Now, as you continue relaxing, imagine a warm light resting in the center of your chest. You don't need to picture it perfectly. Just allow yourself to sense it, however it shows up for you. This light is the openness you were born with. The part of you that came here to connect, to give and receive, to be seen without shrinking, to be cherished without additioning. And as this light glows quietly in your chest, you may begin to notice how it responds to permission. So go ahead and whisper to that light, "It's okay to open. It's safe enough to soften here. I no longer need to guard what is meant to be shared." And you may feel that light pulse gently, expand just a little, not forced, not dramatic, just a quiet willingness to be more visible, more available, more you. Because loving with an open heart doesn't mean never being afraid. It means learning to stay, even when fear arises. It means breathing, even when the voice of doubt shows up. It means reminding yourself, I can be scared and open. I can feel vulnerable and still say yes. I don't need to rehearse love anymore. I'm allowed to experience it. Let those words settle, like a hand resting gently over your heart, like someone seeing you and staying, even when the old fears come up, especially then. And in a moment, I'll begin to guide you into a deeper level of this safe space, where new templates of love and openness can be created inside you. Not just ideas, but as felt truths, as instincts, as permission that sink all the way into your bones. Because the next person you connect with won't be meeting the version of you that's performing. They'll be meeting this version, the you who is clear, kind, courageous, and willing to feel it all. So now, I invite you to imagine a moment in your future, a moment not of perfection, but of truth. You're sitting across from someone you're beginning to care about. There's a gentle pause in the conversation, and you feel that familiar urge to edit yourself, to retreat, to close. But instead, you remember this moment, this breath, this light in your chest, and you choose differently. You breathe, you smile, you say something real, and you notice they stay, you stay, and something shifts. That's what you're practicing now, right here in this gentle trance. Let this experience settle into your nervous system now, like a seed planted in fertile soil, not rushed, not demanded, just trusted to unfold. You don't need to push. You don't need to fix. You don't need to chase. Because love flows towards what is open, toward what is real, toward what is ready to receive. And you are becoming that. Now and later, in dating, in friendship, in how you treat yourself when you're all alone. You are already becoming a safe place you used to search for in others. Let that land, and let that echo. So here are the key meanings of the story. Number 1, emotional readiness isn't about certainty, it's about willingness. Celeste doesn't wait till she's completely healed or has all her fears gone. Instead, she practices staying willing to be present, even while her fear is still there. Meaning, you don't need to be fearless to love. You just need to stay with yourself through the fear. Number 2, love grows in the absence of performance. Throughout the story, Celeste lets go of curated text, rehearsed answers, and trying to appear low maintenance. She practices being authentic, meaning real love begins where performance ends. Intimacy grows from truth, not perfection. Number 3, Attachment wounds need safe relationships to heal. Elijah's presence becomes a kind of corrective experience. His calm, consistent, non-reactive responses show Celeste that vulnerability doesn't have to lead to abandonment or rejection. Meaning, healing relational trauma isn't something we do alone. Safe connection rewires old fear responses. Number 4. Self-protection can quietly become self-sabotage. Celeste has spent years holding back to avoid pain, but that same instinct also kept her from receiving real intimacy. Meaning, the walls we built for safety can also become cages that isolate us. Healing is learning when to soften those walls. Number 5. Love isn't a destination, it's a practice. There is no sudden epiphany or dramatic moment where Celeste becomes ready. She learns to show up again and again, choosing to open one moment at a time. Meaning, staying open is not a personality trait. It's a practice of presence, breath, and conscious choice. Number 6. Fear and openness can coexist. Celeste realizes she can be scared and still move toward connection. Her bravery isn't the absence of fear. It's her ability to remain open while afraid. Meaning, courage in love means letting the heart stretch even when it trembles. And number 7. You don't have to rehearse for love. The story dismantles the idea that you must prepare or perform to be loved. Instead, it honors the truth that being yourself without masking is the deepest offering you can make. Meaning, authenticity is not a risk. It's the pathway to the kind of love that lasts. So, if you have ever longed to date with an open heart, if you've been the careful one, the measured one, the one who smiles through the fear but quietly waits for the other shoe to drop, let the story remind you. You don't have to wait to be ready. You just have to be willing. You can let love in a little at a time. You can speak even when your voice shakes. You can let someone see you before you figured it all out. Because real love doesn't require perfection, only presence. And the truth is, your heart already knows how to open. It's your nature. It's your gift. It's your choice. So I hope the story helps. So if you'd like a customized story tailored just for you, email me at rhondashypnoticstories@gmail.com. That's a Rhonda without an H, to request your own personalized healing story. And if you haven't already, subscribe now please, because here, every story is a gentle step back to yourself. Until next time, be well.